Hi, everybody. Welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. We are finally at the triple digits. We are at session 100 after a little bit more than 2 years of playing, which is still a lot of D&D. Um, the we're gonna pick up with our story with the Crass Menagerie, our band of adventurers that um, is a menagerie of itself. They are currently in the capital city of the nation of Cled, known as Whitlaw, where they were somewhat forced to go, uh, based on the local sovereign's decree that anyone traveling needs to swing by Whitlaw for documentation and inspection. This has left the menagerie in this oversized mega metropolis of the region for the last few days, where they have met some individuals, one particular being Tabard, the orange and brownford tabaxi tradesman, and some sort of entertainer, uh, where he was eager to strike up a friendship with the group. And other individuals that the menagerie had encountered were those mostly dealing with the College of Fascinations, which is up north in the Lyceum district, a, the district of knowledge, education, the arts, um, where they sought to exchange some monastic information to gather some more information about Carver, but they also had the opportunity for Dregnar, who is afflicted by some sort of curse bestowed upon him, and the dying breath of by the dying breath of Zarya, to try to seek aid and help him with his curse. Instead, did attempt to relieve him of his curse with the remove curse spell. However, it proved to be a much more formidable and resilient curse as it flared up many hours later, uh, striking much harder onto Dregnar. Using the knowledge that Tabard had in his sealed black scroll, he was able to identify that it indeed needed help beyond Tabard's capabilities, and the menagerie, part of the menagerie, as the other part were enjoying the festivities of the Harvest Festival, or not the Harvest, the Festival of Colors. Lord, I'm all over the place. Um, Suki, you're coming through, buddy. Eee,
Let me
it's all
adjust
good.
here.
Yeah,
Either there's somebody's experiencing thunder or
yeah. I was like, ooh. Um, as part of the menagerie, we're experiencing the Festival of Colors. Another group were rushing Dregnar with Tabard back to the College of Fascinations, where they met two individuals that Dregnar had heard their names before, Hadriel and Joel. Hadriel is a Tengu scribe and scrawler, and uh, Joel was a female Goliath that seemed to have expertise in supernatural afflictions, curses, and other types of maledictions. Uh, there, they found the severity of Dregnar's curse, and Joel instructed the menagerie that the best course of action would be to head to the Grey Kroll Mountains south of Whitlaw. I can actually switch the map. Yay, switch the map. Where is it? Uh, south of Whitlaw, where there's Whitlaw, where her people reside. And there they are renowned for being adept mountaineers and specialize in hunting basilisks that have and basilisks happen to have a large population in the Grey Coals. Uh, One of the players did realize that they had met one of the Grey Kroll individuals before, uh, back in Volpine, and we'll see what the interactions will be like. But Joel did instruct the menagerie to seek help in Volpine, to get a guide to go to Grey Kroll, speak with the tribe, the Goliath tribes there, to get assistance in alleviating Regnar's curse. She gave some details that it would most likely involve Basilisk, as well as Hellhound, which oddly enough happened to be found somewhere upon the peaks of the Great Wall Mountains. As it is evening and it is late, the menagerie have found rest, making their way successfully into the true Bucking Mad Tavern. As it has a front as a regular tavern, but now that the menagerie spoke the certain words to get in, they found that it does have an underground portion, and it is truly the background dealings of the Adventurers League run by Seb. They went and rested for the night. How well they rested is up in the air. Uh, but they know that likely in the morning they are to head off early, attempting to leave Whitlaw and I guess try to find a remedy for their friends first. I'm sure I missed some things, but you guys have any questions, any comments, or where do you want to go?
Is Meeker? I mean, Meeker's in Whitlaw still, as far as we know, right? Do we know
As
if
far as you
he's staying at at the Buckingham's, or where? Do we remember where he? I don't remember where he stayed.
know. You don't know
Oh, okay.
actually.
Okay.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, yeah, you guys don't know where Meeker is staying. I don't think he ever. Actually, I know he never informed you.
That makes sense.
So, mhm. So, but yeah, as where is the tavern? Did I delete that page by mistake? Tavern,
We
there it
were
is.
on it.
Oh,
I
there we
was
go.
gonna say not that long ago.
There it is. Yeah. So, as the night would fall, judge it upon yourselves how well you guys get rest. Dregnar, you find sleep, and it's not a bad night's sleep. You find sleep. As the night progresses, it seems to be that the flare up from the attempting to remove the curse has subsided to some degree, as well as the seal that Joel had placed upon your chest, where the the mark is, seems to be working in some way. Uh, so everyone is able to take a long rest. Everyone is able to, if you wish to, you can roll your item if you need to. Um, but it is going to be fairly early the following day, which is now Sunday, which would be the final day of the Harvest Festival. I keep saying Harvest Festival, the Festival of Colors. Um, and you guys find yourselves up and at 'em at the in the bottom floor of the Adventurers League at the Bucking Mad.
I always have to remind myself that you're saying bucking mad.
Yeah, it's the best.
The bucking mad.
God.
Yeah, please. And please take note of all your things. I appreciate it, y'all. Hey, something other than quicken or whatever or subtle or raw.
Woo!
Woo!
New area. I've not rolled a dang 10 ever.
I mean, someday you will.
Maybe.
Right. So, as you guys rise, Staj is naturally the first one to rise out of you, just seemingly, even though there is no sunlight down here, his body just knows when to rise. He comes by going to Dregnar last. So he will wake up everyone that is not up at the same time as him, kind of going around, shaking you, then going to Dregnar, and he's apprehensive, expecting to see Dregnar maybe not well, but as he kind of looks over Dregnar, Dregnar seems fine. Dregnar, how are you? He's just kind of shaking you awake. You there, James? No, he's muted.
He's muted.
Okay. Ragnar, so, um, with that, is there anything you guys specifically want to do down in the tavern, or are you just gonna head off and get your supplies for the journey and try to figure out a way to get out of Whitlaw?
If I see Patas around, I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
And she's actually down here
Okay.
at
Not
this
just
time.
manning the doors or whatever.
not manning the false stable,
Right.
or the stable with the false back.
I would ask her about if she knew Meeker's whereabouts. Just be like,
Ah,
hey, I don't, I'm not sure if you know who you've heard of Meeker. I figured you might have. Him being an adventurer, maybe retired. I don't know. He came here with us. Don't know where he got to, but since it turns out we're kind of going back his way, wanted to see if he wanted to come with.
so finally getting to have a proper conversation with this individual, you do see she's, due to what she is, being a centaur, she's much taller than you. However, she speaks softly and kindly. It's interesting knowing that the way to get in is to mention that she's a tough broad. And she said, Meeker, of course. Meeker's one of the old friends.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
makes sense.
I would say he normally stays, but I guess I haven't seen him. I would guess he's probably making a proper appearance, staying over in the Thorn district,
Right.
as
Okay.
he still represents, or you know, the verdant cause over in Volpine. Uh, I can let him know that you're looking for him if I happen to see him.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be heading out soon-ish. Certainly today, but maybe even this morning sometime. I don't actually really know, but if you wouldn't mind letting him know that the menagerie is heading back to his town, and if he can, find us, he's more than welcome to come with us.
Well, certainly. And he says, well, if you are leaving, best of luck on your travels. Just remember how to get down here if you ever come back into town.
You got it.
Oh, is anything I can get you while you're down here? Need some
No, I'll
morning
just go.
ale,
Yeah, I'll go
grub?
get some. I'll go get some food from the. There's a word for where you get the food. I just can't remember what it is. I mean, it's not a cafeteria, but like whatever the like barracks equivalent of that is. I forget what it's called. Mess, I guess, from the mess.
Yeah, the mess
That's
hall.
all. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, well, I mean, we have the same,
Mhm.
down here if you want. And save you the trip. Going up, and I see I was earlier. His name, just was upset. He was up and
Yeah, he does that. He likes to catch the sunrise.
unfortunately he didn't get to see it. He was down, but that's beyond the point. But yes, just until next time then.
Yeah, it's been
And
a pleasure.
brief, a pleasure. And Danny, like just I should say Danny. Sorry, I get
Yes.
all up in this area, making me very distracted. Um, so Davis, as you know, you're talking about Patas. He definitely comes off kind of like a caught in between two worlds kind of individual.
Yeah.
Soft spoken, well mannered, very good at, I guess, being part of a bar tavern establishment. But as you're kind of observing, you're seeing evidence of different scars, battle wounds, and just a rough life. Definitely one that has seen action. Uh, and she doesn't seem. You don't know how old or how Centaur's age and all that, but she doesn't seem very old. Her hair, both on her head and the what you can see from her actually equine portion, you know, bright, like lively chestnut color and all that. So she doesn't seem to have any grays. Just seems to have been war torn at some point.
She's a tough broad. Makes sense.
She is a tough broad. Doesn't sound like one though. Menagerie, as you are able to kind of get your grub from the mess hall, uh, and agree to leave the Bucking Mad. You're sent out through the back passage going kind of up on an incline. And you realize now as you're walking like this, the tunnel down here is actually fairly large, probably to accommodate some larger folks such as Patas and Goliaths and bugbears and stuff like that. And then as you do approach, opening the false back to the stables, stepping in to the stables, you do see that it is an active stable. There are animals held here, and there is an individual manning the station, an old, gruff individual, large hat kind of covering it where you can't even see his eyes, white beard, it's kind of smaller frame, probably human, not really paying you much mind as you just kind of walk out and you're able to get to the streets. Uh, the day, as you look around, definitely in the morning, it is recovering from the harvest. Geez, I keep saying harvest festival. The festival of colors. There's still not like debris, but like confetti and other items of celebration, extra ribbons, extra streamers, still bags that would have been used to carry certain little food items and all that just kind of scatter about the streets. And you see individuals, kind of mostly Verdant Cause members, going through while on duty, kind of cleaning up the area as well, getting ready for the next day. The streets are alive and bustling with people already getting into selling goods, getting ready, especially for tonight's celebration. You see all those individuals hawking those multicolored sashes, shawls, vests, and everything. But as there is little time to be distracted, I assume, and you guys can correct me, y'all will be heading over to Tabard's for the morning.
I think so. I don't,
Makes sense.
do we have? Because we don't know. Yeah, the only other target we have, we don't know where they are. So,
Wait, what?
what's his face? The sheriff,
Oh, Meeker. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Meeker. Yeah, he's the only other like potential target for the day, as like something to do before heading out.
Actually, theoretically, let me. Da, da, da. I'm thinking of going to the Snoring Lodge.
Okay, that is something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say, hey guys, give me like an hour and a half to go. Actually, it's gonna take me like an hour just to get there and back, wouldn't it?
Not knowing where you're going, yeah,
Yeah.
easily.
Let's say, hey, how about as like, do you think we can, reconvene around midday maybe? I gotta go talk to some folks on the east side.
Said, well, do you need anyone to accompany you? What is,
This is just Tabard basically gave me some info about some leads on Carver, and I figured, while we're here in town, go hit those up, and then we can reconvene and get back to helping our friend.
okay. Uh, Said you'll kind of look around. If you're comfortable going on your own, I'll be here at Tabard's, I suppose.
Sure. Yeah, I think I'm good with what. I think Tabard had some was gonna look up get some potions or something. Just whatever looks like it makes sense. Just that's fine. Uh, Something would be nice, but whatever. And then yeah, I'll just kind of be very distracted.
Okay. Mm, very well. So you're able to eventually get on, and kind of separated from the group as they make their way towards Tabards. You need to go somewhere in the Kneeling District off to the eastern side, somewhere near the walls. There's a wall that you know.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and your choice. You can give me um, an investigation or a survival slash kind of like streetwise. So you can
I was
use
gonna say I miss
charisma.
Streetwise.
Yeah, you can use charisma if you want
Oh
for the
really?
survival check. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
either
I'll
way.
do that.
To try to
Yeah,
see
I
how
guess
well.
it's like asking around and stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, that's not bad. That's gonna be 19 total.
All right. So you go around asking at a couple stalls at the beginning, and they're more interested at first, like, oh, what would you like? Would you like some of these colored bead strings or the shawl? Trying to sell you stuff, trying to get you into the festival mood. And you jump to another one, jump to a few, and eventually you get to one where there is an older dwarven lady, uh, long white hair, some like runic braids, and clasp holding her braids, and she looks at you and she's snoring loud.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know where it is?
No, but I know someone that can help. And you see her call out, uh, way too loud for someone who's pretty much in the same little tent area as her, and a small young halfling girl steps out, and she's like, "All right, Pippin, Pip, I need you to take this man to the Kneeling District. Where are we going again?
The Snoring Lodge.
Yes, 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 yes. To the Eastern District, over by the walls. There's going to be a building. I don't know which one, but you know the one I'm talking about because you're from the Kneeling District, right, little girl?" She's like, "Yes." And essentially, you'll get this little guide. Uh, um, and I say little. I mean, she's probably like in her early 20s.
Oh, okay. So she's an adult.
And yeah,
Okay.
so this dwarven lady is a little assistant at the thing, and she'll take you, guide you. It does take, even with the guide, and it probably still takes about an hour.
Wow. Okay.
It's a large city. Uh, just getting across. I think if I remember right, I could tell you the size of the city. City.
Yeah, like crossing, I thought was like 2 hours, like something like that.
Yeah, but it's not busy,
Yeah.
and it's already kind of busy, right? So
Oh,
it's
fair.
Sunday on a festival day. I had somewhere distances. I really need to get distances. Yeah, it'll take
You're a little quiet
two
too.
and
I
a
don't know if it's because your mic's kind of far.
there you go. So it'll
That's
take
better.
about 2.5 hours to get across on an average day.
Yeah, but we kind of
So
started in the middle though, right? So I figure like
so
half-ish of that.
yeah, so like an hour.
Yeah.
Even though the person is Pippa is guiding you and everything, it still makes it kind of difficult to navigate just because of the amount of people and just people getting in the way. And also, when you get to the Kneeling District, there's a lot less of the vendors and the festivities. It's just an interesting place, and it's just kind of, as you're focused on going places, getting to where you need to go. There's still this feel to it where there's a little bit more attention to detail in a lot of the buildings. There is that little bit of extra put into some of the roofing, the pillars, just to indicate and symbolize either the religious purpose, the god that they favor, the practices here. And you do see a smattering of different, worshipings. You definitely do see the law bearers crest. You see the Everlight, um, the mentor, and all that. But as you are traveling, he'll get you to where at some point in towards the end of the hour, you're starting to get maybe a little bit concerned and worried because
You
as
sure
you're
you know
getting,
where you're going?
she's like, pretty sure I know where I'm going. You're going to the old rundown lodge. I know where that is. It's just, when she says rundown, you're starting to see it. This portion, as you're getting further and further and further away from the center and more on the outskirts of the Kneeling District, there's a, a very obvious presence of neglect, run down buildings, forgotten buildings. People are still living here. People are still coming here, you see people in and out of the little alleys and streets, but it's not as nice. There is definitely more waste and trash. And then eventually you do get to right up against the wall. And the wall, as you're looking at it, there's repairs, and like this giant crack that just seems to be like very quickly sealed up and patchwork. And then as you look upon the wall, and then Pippa will say, "That's it. That, yep, that's the one. That's the Snoring Lodge." And it's a half stone, half wood building. The sign is dangling there, not even fully affixed. Only one of the rings is in place, so half the sign is. So it's like it's hard. You have to like tilt your head to read it.
But it does have a sign.
It does have a sign.
Oh, okay. I'll just
Uh,
ask. I'll ask her real quick. But like, so what do you know about the folks that are in this place? Because I was sent here
uh,
by a friend of mine saying that they may be able to help me with something.
I don't know what they'd be able to help you with other than old stories of, well, dwarven stories, I guess. Maybe get you really drunk. Um,
Okay.
uh, I hear that they're not afraid to get in some little bar brawls around this part. I don't know. They,
Oh no,
I really don't
that's
know.
that's actually about what I was hoping for. So thank you very much, and I'll give her 5 copper.
Take it. Uh, you know how to get back? And she's already starts walking away.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, thanks.
All right. She just kind of, waves back, not even looking at you. But yeah, Danny, just go ahead and give me just give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Natural 20 for a total of 19.
19. Okay, yeah. So you're looking, and this place has definitely been patched up quite a few times, and some of the materials used definitely are not.
If Yeah, I might actually
Mhm.
say my proficiency in carpenter's tools might apply.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Um, the the front of the building is kind of extended, not giving quite a patio or that, but they definitely have like the blackened wood charred, but in a proper way, not so that's where it's like falling apart, making it like it's almost like tempered wood. It's been hardened. Uh, there and it gives off this kind of residual, honestly, like this smoky smell. Uh, just as you approach this stone wood building. Uh, the door, as you approach it, is a heavy set metal door, well, wood door that's framed with what looks like thick iron. Uh, it's a fairly heavy door and it's shut. But you do, as you kind of approach,
Yeah, knock, knock, knock. Actually,
pretty
I'll.
quiet.
Does it feel like it's and then it's well? So I'll knock first, and then is the door just unlocked? Could I just open it?
It doesn't seem locked. It's
Okay, I'll
heavy
go in then.
though. All right,
Okay,
you
hello.
go to like kind of push it, and it takes a moment. You're like, and then you actually have to like put your back into it, really push it, and you hear like as it as it scrapes the bottom of the floor, and you kind of as you're pushing in, and some of the light is starting to come into this very poorly lit, smoky, uh, dark tavern, where in the center there is like a small kept hearth that is illuminating some of this orange faint light. You do pick up some tables and chairs, but the thing that you do notice is that door, there's a groove where the door gets pushed and scrapes away at the stonework, and you enter, and then as you kind of step through, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Pretty good. 22.
I do, yeah. So as you kind of step through and like kind of let go of the door, kind of and kind of pat off your hands, the door shakes and it kind of shakes. It feels like you're shaken. You look around and you see at the bar, there's two dwarven individuals. Uh, Difficult to discern their age because of the distance, and there's this constant, like almost like smoky air in here. There are some sconces on the walls and some candles in the area that are giving off light, but there is no proper light source in here. Uh, but you do notice that the dwarven individuals, um, one of them has like a dark brown, maybe black hair and beard, and simple attire. Seems to have some sort of leather apron on, and he's sitting there with a stein in front of him. And the other individual who's on the other side of the bar, another dwarven individual, sporting a large mohawk that goes all the way back and seemingly tapers off into like a large braid that runs halfway down his back. A very thick, heavy set beard. His hair is like fire orange. And as he kind of looks towards you and sees you enter, he puts up his hand, waving, says, "You lost."
I don't think so. I came to the Snoring Lodge, correct?
"Aye, but interesting. What can I get you?"
I am here not to partake, but to seek information. I was
"Oh,
told that some of you may hail, or some of you may descend of those who hailed from Carver some time ago.
there's many that hail from Carver. A lot
Uh,
of gem folk came trying to make a life, failed,
uh,
got consumed by Whitlaw."
yeah, I'm looking for anybody who might be able to tell me about the Forge Masters of those long ago days.
Give me an insight check.
Sure. Eh. Oh, 14.
Okay. The the dwarven patron just sipping, looks over at the bartender, slaps down some coin, gets up. You see him kind of take what was like his apron, his leather apron that was folded at the waist. He kind of puts it up, puts it over his neck. He looks essentially probably like a smith of some sort, uh, because he's got a few tools, and he just gets up. "Be seeing you," and starts heading out. Uh, Walks kind of close to you, maybe a little bit closer than would it be than necessary, as you guys are really the only two on the floor,
Hmm.
and then just kind of pulls the door, heads out. Again, there's like a burst of light as the door opens and allows the natural light in.
Does he have any trouble opening the door or closing it?
No,
Okay.
no, you just, but you hear it's the heavy scraping.
Yeah.
So you want
So is it just the
a
two of us
history
in here now? Like the one guy at the bar and me?
that you see, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
And he's just like grabbing, the coin, putting it behind the bar, grabbing the stein, and you see him like reaching for a bucket, putting it up, and just dropping the stein in it, kind of
I'll say,
flowing
I'm sorry,
around.
I hope I wasn't interrupting anything.
Nah, he comes in regularly. He's mm, off to work. He
So,
likes to have his bread liquid breakfast, if you know what I mean.
oh, definitely. Understand that. Um, so, do you know who I might be able to speak to about that?
You want a history lesson?
Well, I have some more specific questions for whoever it is that I may be speaking to.
You
But
don't look like the type that'd be coming from the Lyceum, so
fair. Yeah, you're right. I
usually those would be the only ones that would even mention the old forges.
well, uh, I've I heard of I heard of something recent that has piqued my interest. I
Uh,
saw I saw someone basically I saw a weapon that somebody said it looked like it was ancient carver make, and it's very impressive. And I wanted to learn more about it, and I was directed here, saying that these people, the people here, might have the details that I seek.
I was about to say, recent and forges from Carver don't go together, but you saw a weapon.
Uh huh.
Uh, do you have a etching of it? What was
So
it?
would you be the one to talk to about this? Do you know about the ancient forge masters?
Uh, no one alive knows much about them, I fear. We're many generations, few generations. Uh, I suppose, depending on the questions you ask, I might be able to assist.
Well, uh, I didn't have a specific question as much as I was just curious as to like goes into forging these types of things because this particular weapon had some very special properties. The person who was using it actually was experiencing some interesting effects, and I was just looking for some more insight into that, on behalf of
Yeah,
this person. Basically asking for a friending this whole
yeah,
shtick.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's reading, and you see
Which, yeah, if you want me to do a
as
deception
you,
check, I can.
sure, as you approach, because I'm assuming you've approached, right?
Ooh, natural
And
20
you're
on the
able to,
deception for 23 total.
okay. Um, I'm assuming you've approached,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
you're
So
within,
I'm in like casual
yeah.
speaking range. Yeah.
So as you look him over, he has, you know, bright, vibrant orange hair, facial hair. His eyebrows are thick and heavy. His eyes have like almost like a golden flare to them. Um, you said you how was it 23?
Yeah, natural 20 for a total 23.
Natural 20.
Jeez.
Okay.
I could have.
He'll,
I was
he'll
gonna say I could have ruined myself too, but whatever. It's fine.
yeah, no, it's funny. That's actually really funny. He looks you over and says, a friend.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep. He's very troubled.
So are you this friend? Forgive me, because I'm assuming you're wearing your armor,
No,
right?
no.
No, what are you wearing?
When I'm around town, just street clothes. Like,
Okay, here goes. Okay, okay. All right. Well, I would say seeing a piece from back then is not very common. Normally you see them in museums. Uh, maybe some former noble had it something passed down.
yeah, this
So
was just. My friend said he just found it in a storeroom, just outside or on the outskirts of Volpine, which is pretty close to Carver, is my understanding.
yeah, was it and was it just someone had something they didn't know what they had?
He didn't say exactly, but that's kind of the impression I got. I think they were just looking for just like a replacement to I don't know. They said they just kind of got it picked up really very casually, and then after after they used it for a little while, like some really weird stuff started happening, and so I got really interested.
Stay here.
Sure.
Be right back. And he kind of goes, and there's behind him. There's like the little half doors, and he just kind of kicks it, walks through. Uh, you hear some mumbling, and another. He will approach, and then after back to the back to the bar, he'll approach, and then where there's another entryway that's like part of the building, and seemingly like a staff entrance or whatnot. Another dwarf individual step out. Um, same fire, like bright orange hair, thick brows. Um, looks a lot older. There is some graying to it. He says, So your friend experienced some weird, you said.
Yeah, a couple of things
Yeah.
that he mentioned seemed pretty weird to me.
Uh-huh. And
I'm sorry, what was... uh, actually, we haven't even fully introduced... My name's Davis.
now you're being proper.
Yeah, I'm
Very
sorry
nice
about
to
that.
meet
I
you.
just haven't been in this part of town, I'm in a bit of a rush too, so apologies.
That's Braylon. I'm Mirgo. Pleasure.
Pleasure.
Braylon. I think he has what we're talking about. I don't think he's the friend. I actually rolled a natural 20 for him because he was
Oh,
listening.
jeez.
Virgo got rolled a 9. Or Braylon rolled a 9. Virgo rolled. I have a feeling that your friend is you.
Um, yeah, how could you tell?
Let's call it intuition, a gut feeling. Um, so you said weird happened, different happened.
Yeah,
Did it?
go ahead.
Did the weapon itself change?
It did, actually. Basically, uh, it didn't get caught on fire, but it got heated up pretty hot.
And it came to life?
I mean, in a matter of speaking, that's just when all the weird stuff started happening. I don't know what you mean by came to life, but that's when it became a little bit more.
So tell me. Most people speak of Carver because they want to still go and hope to find some gems and jewels.
Oh no, I have gems and jewels. I'm good with that.
You come to the lodge seeking forgotten forges.
Yeah, or at least
The
information about them.
so you happen to know the real wealth and treasure of Carver.
I suppose so.
Very well. You see, the fires there were special. They're the fires that breathe life into metal, into things that, well, my father would have crafted. Hmm. The real
So,
treasure is the fire that snores in the belly of the mountain.
yeah, why do they keep saying snores? Like, what does that mean? Is it just because it's been dormant and nothing's been made there, or is it like actually something there that's sleeping and snoring, like a creature or something?
The forges snore. There's no one to man the bellows, to cause the fire to dance.
Okay, and that would have been you said your
Cold.
father did this?
Many centuries ago. Hmm. Oh, listen. You've seen it. You've experienced it. I take it you have this
Uh,
piece of forge mastery.
it's not here now, but yeah, it's in my possession.
Yeah. Shame you don't have it. I would have loved to have seen it as I I was not around when the forges were at work.
Well, you're in luck, and then I'll summon it. Fuck it.
Well, the thing you had.
I'm always one for a
Yeah.
show.
Um. So yeah, as the
Actually, well, so I assume, yeah, I already checked. There's nobody else in here, so or at least that I could see. So
that you can see, yeah,
yeah,
and you haven't heard anything.
yeah,
And
okay.
Braylon's kind of listening in, and Margot's kind of took you off to the side, and you kind of sat at like a table
Yeah.
discussing. You kind of stand up.
Yep. Shoom. Yeah. That's part of the weird. It's a very good
Mhm.
weird, but it's pretty
And
weird.
yeah, you'll see like he his mouth just kind of drops a little bit. He's like, I've never Grandpappy or Pappy never said anything about, huh?
Yeah, now you
It's
understand why I'm
beautiful.
asking.
You have a treasure. Um, I
What?
never thought I would lay eyes on something like this.
Yeah, I'll fully hand it over to him. Be like, by
He'll,
all means,
yeah,
examine to your heart's content. I will say it comes not necessarily so much at a price, but with some other weirdness that still raises a bunch of questions with me. And that's, to be honest, if it was just that I could do that with that thing, fine, whatever. I'll just keep using it. It's great. But it seems that I've been experiencing something or someone attempting to communicate with me and draw me to Carver. And it seems as if they're coming maybe from inside where the forges were or something, because it's got this very like hot, you know, smoky air about it, and I've never been there, so I don't know about it, but it feels like some place where you could treat weapons and metal like this, but I don't know what it is.
it's the source of the flame that gives the metal its life.
So it is. So there is like something in there. What is it?
It is the belly of the mountain. It is the heat source. It is what taught my grandfather and my father how to. And you'll see he's like holding it, kind of balancing it on his hand, craft something like this.
Yeah, it's magnificent. So it's a creature.
Uh, Father said that yes, that the bellows were special not just because of the mountain, but because of who was in the mountain. And as a child, I thought he was talking about him and his brethren. But as time came to pass and as he became older and more lost some of himself and would repeat the stories, he mentioned that the belly itself was alive. And I suppose what you're saying is that he was not losing his mind?
At least not about that.
Well, um, and he puts, hands the glaive back to you. Forgive me. Um, Raylan, uh, everything's normal. And Margot will wave to you to come through the back where he went.
No problem.
As he guides you, he kind of guides you to where like, the living quarters essentially are attached to this location.
Imagine it's a fair bit of ducking down.
A little bit. It's not too bad for you. I mean, it's still, it's not a dwarven construct. It is
Oh, okay.
renovated, right? Because it is still, it's still mostly a original Whitlaw building where
Okay.
they've made some alterations. And as you're going, you do more to the living quarter. You do start to see hammers on the walls, a shield, different types of metal work. Uh, you see a set of chain armor, and he'll walk by and then kind of lead you into essentially maybe his quarters, and he'll say, "Forgive me," and then jumps on like his bed, reaches up on like a shelving that's over the bed, and pulls off this little locker like chest, puts it down, digs in his beard, pulls out like a key, opens it, and then you'll see that there's tablet, like stone, like tablets, and he'll kind of take one out, take another one, and then he'll say, this apparently is how to find the belly of the mountain. And if you're going to bring back something made with the fires, perhaps it's time, and I'll hand it to you. It's actually, this returns back from where it came as well. It's in Dwarvish.
Okay.
I don't think you read Dwarvish.
Nope. But I will accept it
Uh,
with a
I'll tell
somewhat
you.
confused look on my face.
Okay. It'll guide you to the heart of the mountain, to the
Yeah,
belly itself.
I don't, I can't read this, but I believe other members of the menagerie that I travel with could probably read it.
That's good that you're not alone. Um, I very much want to know what you find and what you see.
Oh yeah, I will definitely let you know. Yeah, I will let you know as soon as I can. Thank you. Uh,
Mm.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm just kind of like lost, sort of like
Yeah,
walking off, just like slowly.
he'll kind of walk with you and he'll say, "Listen, I've only seen a few pieces from my father's time and even fewer from my grandfather's. What you have is special. What you have is priceless. It's a good thing you can do the trick with it, because
Yeah,
it
it's how
might
I got it
draw."
into the city. Um, Nobody really even knows that I have it except for those who know about it. You know.
Yeah. I would say that belongs in the museum,
Okay, Indiana, let's go.
but I'm glad it has a purpose. And if it is truly alive as you say it is, and certainly looked like it was alive, it is serving its purpose well.
Well, thank you again. And is there anything? Is there anything that I can do for you? I'm unfortunately leaving town today, but is there anything that I can do? I don't know.
Come back with stories. We'll drink. We'll be rowdy.
I mean,
It's too early, so this place is dead right now.
I will
But
definitely try my best to do that. I will keep you. I will keep. You can keep me to that.
I'll tell you one other thing. If you find dwarves in your journey to the Carver that happen to have a resemblance, we are said to be marked by the beast.
What does that
The
mean?
hair exposure apparently made us a pact, a deal, um, a bond. You don't see many orange-haired dwarves. We all tend to be somewhat from the monastic times.
Good to know. Okay. Thank you again. Thank you so very much. I do have to go, but thank you.
That'll get you. May like looks at the tablet, and it's not a huge tablet.
Yeah.
Stone tablet. Get that translated, and it will help you get to the center, the belly. Good luck, Davis.
Davis. And was it Margo? 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 Margo?
Mergo,
Margo?
Mergo.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Margo. And tell Braylon thank you as well.
Absolutely. Until until next time.
Till next time.
And as you get to the door, pull it open, you know, not struggling, but now that you're prepared for it to be so heavy, it scrapes. And you even see, like, as it's scraping, there's like little sparks kind of fly from the heavy metal crashing against the stonework.
I'll make sure to stow the tablet as in my pack as we head out, so it's
Okay,
not just in my hands as I leave.
understood. And um, I was going to see if there was something else that he needed to say. Nope. And you'll just hear Murgo say, as you leave, remember, the real treasure is the fire. And he'll bid you adieu. All right.
Cool beans.
So group at the Tabards. The rest of you lot. Is James back? James. I wonder what happened to James. Hope everything's okay.
I'm here. I said back.
Oh, I missed it. So Davis will be gone for about 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer. Actually, Davis, give me a survival check to see if you remember how to get back. Please be so kind. So, as the rest of you manage to get to Tabards, you go. The door is locked. So, what are you guys going to be doing?
Strength check, bust the door down. Gotta get in there.
Go ahead, go for it.
No, just kidding. I think it would probably knock.
All right, very
Oh,
well.
wait, is this another thing where we came like crazy early? This poor
But
guy hasn't gotten a full night's sleep in like 3 days.
yeah, he's sort of expecting, but you guys are early. You go, you knock. Um, as you knock, Karos, you hear the sounds of the doors, locking mechanism, unlatch, unlock, and then the door opens. No one happens to be at the door, but the interior is available to you.
I'll look to everybody and shrug and walk on in.
As you walk in, um, same lavish interior mixed with, oddities and different collections of things. At the chair where typically Tam Tam is located is empty. And as you enter, you hear a familiar voice of, I reckon Tabard said he'd be here early in the morning. Meeker is just sitting up on the table, looking at like he's in the process of helping inventory essentially all the crazy stuff that y'all had brought in. It's good to see y'all this morning. And he looks to Dregnar. You don't look as bad as Tabard made it sound you would.
Oh,
Guess we gotta.
yes. Yesterday was a different day.
I hear dwarves are tough. He told me you were dying. You look. Man, you got color. You look fine.
It comes and it goes.
It comes and it goes. So, uh, not everyone's here. Where's Davis?
Yeah, they well, I guess did Davis tell everybody where he was going or just say that I gotta go? Okay. He had to stop at the what was it? Snoring dog?
Don't know no snoring dog, but hey,
Sleepy.
I thought it was the
Sleepy.
beauty salon.
Mm.
well, I guess then I figured we'd be rushing to get you out, but if he's off doing some sort of trip and Dregnar's not looking like he's caught the death, I guess, well, what are y'all planning? Still leaving today?
I think that's the plan.
Absolutely,
He-
that's the plan.
Yeah. Didn't we don't know how long he's gonna be, but he was kind of under the same assumption as the rest of us, so I don't imagine he'll stick around. He'll either see if he can get some questions answered, and head on out over here, and just kind of waiting for when he goes. But the last couple of items from the shop, and it's about all the business other than speaking with the Lord.
Well, like I said, Tabard filled me in. I know I gotta get y'all out. I have arrangements to make it easier for y'all. He did mention I will get him here shortly. He did say, y'all were going to be borrowing some things. Oh, no, you're talking to me, Danny? It's
Oh
Meeker.
yeah, well the group. Just because I stepped away for a second and I didn't
Oh, it's
catch it.
Meeker. It's Meeker.
Oh, it's Meeker.
He's
Oh,
inside.
okay. Sorry.
Yep.
Mykonos.
Mika's been waiting for you. He did prepare some things for y'all. So go ahead and get what you need. I'll get him roused. We'll get y'all on the road as soon as Davis returns. Very well. So just as point of clarity, I just want to now make sure that we do have everyone with the right stuff on their character sheet. So of the things presented, Dregnar, your Soaken Sash is available. And you take that. And then as you're kind of looking at through some of the things, there's going to be that purple, violet, fuchsia stone that happens to catch your attention. And as you're about to ask about it, Tabard kind of steps out. That's a dream stone, my friend. Take it. You'll understand what it does. It'll let you basically, well, fuse it with whatever weapon you use, or whatever hand wraps you wish. It should help you drop your foes a little bit quicker, and you can be humane and put them out mentally, if you wish.
I sense a connection to it, like it's out of game. I'm thinking, the slumber realm and all that.
Sure. Well, maybe that's why it caught your eye. So, do be careful with it. But I know you are going to be in dangerous places. So are you affixing it to your hand wraps, or what are you doing?
Yes, I'm going to take one of my hand wraps.
Okay.
I'll take it off,
Mhm.
and then I'll wrap the wrapper on my hand a couple of times, and then have it to where the stone is in my palm, and then
Okay.
wrapped up in the wraps.
Okay. So as you're kind of wrapping it, and all of you who are with him will see that as he's wrapping it, his, I guess they're like linen wraps or whatnot, that have like your standard white, maybe a little bit browned from use and rewashing and all that color. That as he's wrapping it and he's clutching, that the two sets of hand wraps that he has eventually kind of adopt this purple and fuchsia kind of color scheme to it. Not super vibrant, but you can kind of see it. And yeah, you got him. And then how are you wearing the sash? Are you wearing it as a belt or over the shoulder?
I'm wearing it as a belt for the plus to the DC.
Okay. I was not able to code it on the item, so you're gonna have to remember it or
Yeah.
manually
Yeah.
add it. So And then you'll see that black silken sash he ties around his waist. I guess I should ask CJ, was there anything that jumped out to you in the expanded list to go with your Sentinel shield, or are you happy with what you got right now?
I don't. Are you talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
What? Why does everyone like y'all are like y'all Davis, Sage, and whenever it's me, it's like, hey, CJ.
He said Danny like 6 times already today.
I'm sorry.
It's
Jesus.
okay.
I meant to say wrong. I have.
That's
It's one of those
illegal.
days.
I
I know.
don't know I don't know who this CJ is.
Sorry,
You're breaking my immersion.
Mr.
Yeah,
Wrong.
yeah.
Break your immersion. Worst DM in history.
The only real question I had was, would I have catapulted into my book?
Yeah, I would have assumed you would have spent the time and the gold. I mean, you
So
had the finances, right?
yeah, I have the money and the ink.
Okay, then yeah, then you would be able to mark up the ink, making the pages magical, and putting
Do
them,
we,
or putting, yeah.
do we know how much ink and money it costs me?
Catapult is a first level spell,
First level.
so it's 50 gold per spell level, so it'd be 50. So
50 gold. And how much of my ink?
mm, that's what we need to find out real quick.
And then I'm happy.
What ink are you using?
I have my
The
magic inkwell.
fine
Skink
ink.
ink.
Yeah.
It's up to 25 levels, so it's just one level. So it's just one charge.
Okay.
Use
And then confirm. And I will take.
you
Ooh, wow! I'm running short on gold now.
I mean, we haven't dipped into our now uncursed bag.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. And yes, you do have catapult. So if you wish to have prepared it, you are able to prepare it.
Perfect.
As I don't know what Sedge would have taken because we weren't able to discuss. We'll just retroactive that stuff. Paros.
Hmm.
There's going to be those adornments that Tam Tam told you about.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
And for an armor, I think, since we're not sure what those plates might be used, they'll go with the half plate, just in case it's something that ends up being additive. Then I could buy, pay for what gets done with them and add it to this, or if it ends up being a completely different type of armor, then I just return this and go with
So
what we can figure out. Or maybe they just end up not being useful for armor and figure out something else.
very well. So you get this set of half plate and where the it's it's well crafted, very nice. A little bit not sized for you, but as you kind of just put it on, you'll notice that there's this I kind of see it more like a pale blue stone, kind of like right here where the sternum would be, and you kind of feel the metal kind of start to like creak and expand and bend and fold in places so that it's more snug, and then you see that little like this little emanation of energy from the little inset stone across the armor, indicating that the enchantment is in place and it is a +1 half plate. So you can go ahead and add that to your character sheet.
Thank you.
You will. And then with the adornments, Tabard will explain 2 earrings and 1 on your person. You need to have all 3 for them to work. You lose 1, no good.
How is the third one? Is it like
You can put it in your
Like
pocket. You can put it on your belt.
is it like a little stone with a symbol on it, or what's kind of like
Yeah.
what is the actual thing?
It's almost like, so as you see like the symbol where it's like the 3 like swooshes almost. Um, those are kind of affixed on the earrings. They're kind of affixed with like a metal ring, and then there's a couple like tail feathers on each. The third one, which is by itself, is just that swooshy symbol, and they're still kind of linked together, but it's loose. So like you can hook it onto something, you could tie a cord to it, make it a necklace. It's very much not prepared to be worn. It could very well easily just be put a cloth over it and put it in a pouch if you wanted to. You could put it as a belt buckle. It's kind of to be used as you see fit.
Sure.
So
Okay.
yep. And then jump into Allegretto. Any thoughts on what you're taking?
There's a couple I'm curious about. Want to start with the small
That
one.
that is
Uh,
Al. That's so Al.
Yeah, it is.
Wah, wah, wah.
ah, shit, dude.
Okay.
Um, while browsing, I would definitely notice this little wand with like a little trumpet on it. He's like, what is this thing? What the?
Why did I know that this was gonna be picked up?
What's this goofy little?
Meeker will look at it and like, isn't that just the stupidest thing?
It's so dumb.
Tabard, what is it?
What's it do?
Tabard's like, oh, that's. I mean, that's more of a party prank more than anything. But I'm sure you can be creative and use it. It negates sound from objects. Have a squeaky hinge. Point at it. Open it. Doesn't squeak. It only does that for a moment, but it stores the sound too, so you can then make it sound like there's a squeaky hinge somewhere else.
It's like a
Ah,
tiny little silence. Oh my goodness.
very localized, very small. Though the more you use it, the more familiar with it you can get. More objects, more hinges, windows, doors, squeaky wagon wheels at once. But by all means, surprised that caught your eye. But I guess being the bard and all makes some sense.
Hmm. You keep mentioning objects, so it doesn't work on, say, people or speech or anything?
You can't make me shut up. You can't make someone shut up with it. No.
Not even if I hit him with it?
You might bend it. Let's be honest.
Al's gonna flex it just a little bit. Ah,
It's like it doesn't like super flex, but it's definitely not it's not
it's not for
tempered
hitting.
or yeah, it's not hardened.
Oh, still, sounds like it could be fun. How
Like I
much does this
said,
one
man,
go for?
it's your bar. It's fine. If that's what you wish to use to assist you with helping Dregnar, take it. But if I was to sell it, eh, not too much. 500 gold or something. So you
I'll
get a wand of noises.
yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Okay, I
I'll
dig it.
I'll leave my hauberk that I was using
Mhm.
before. Be like, I know this isn't one for one, but if I don't make it back, then hopefully the plates plus this can cover the cost of. And it'll kind of like thunk on the 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 the, the, the half plate.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Y'all will make it back, I'm sure. Just uh, let's get y'all out of town here soon when Davis returns. Uh, but absolutely, and you'll see Meeker will go over and take what you're leaving, and look at Tabard. Tabard will just kind of point, and Meeker will go put it down somewhere and put it in one of the corners. So very well.
Do people ever come in and look for signed armor by the adventurers that previously wore them? It's like I don't need
I
armor for wearing. I want it's a
I
collectible.
I, I would say there's sometimes they've been able to sell pieces by a renowned smith to a
Mm,
collector. Never. I should look into that.
the
Equipment
legendary armor
used
of
by exactly.
insert name.
Yes. 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 Karos, you might be onto something. I will ponder this. And he's like pulling on his whisker a little bit. He's like,
Think of all the nobles that have suits of armor and never don them.
yeah,
They love
exactly.
collectibles.
Yeah. People do like their collection. Interesting. So yeah, you see Tabor's kind of like all of a sudden kind of distracted. Uh, I want to say Corbin. Al, are you taking anything else? You mentioned at the beginning before we started recording the crest was interesting.
Al is a little bit interested in the crest and the mirror light signet. Signet.
Mirror
Um,
light. Oh, okay.
they're both a bit up there. Uh, some of these, some of these sound pretty funny.
I like how you're seeing the funny stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well,
Uh, yeah,
I'll go into it later.
yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, up to you. You can pick either or. Really, he's
Oh.
still running. He'll say, you know, it is to help your friend, but it is still need to have something in case someone is interested. Keep the business going.
Mm, Uh, bars are spellcasters. Is that works?
Yeah, bards are spellcasters. So you do qualify for the mirror light signet, and then the crest is whatever. Yeah, it's just
Very
whatever you want to
faithful.
do with it. Yeah,
Oh, that's a tough one. Can you come back to me?
sure. Well, I'll let you make the decision before.
He
So
holds them both in his hands.
well, uh, he'll look at you and say, if you want to take both, I can hold on to something that you see as of equal value. Always an option.
I'll keep that in mind if I can't make up my mind.
Very
Thank you.
well. So a little bit of time will pass. You'll be able to discuss with Meeker, and Tabard. Tabard will say, so listen, Meeker, I called him over after that shit that happened uh, at the Halls of Mending. Wait, we weren't even at the Halls of Mending. At the whatever the College of Arcana. I can't even think of it. I'm still not sleeping well. You people have tortured and racked my brain. But to get you out, you will be part of a verdant cause transport that's taking goods down to one of the checkpoints. So we get to sneak you out essentially, just to make it a little bit easier. So there's less questions at the gates. You are, I'm sure y'all are okay with this, yes? Perfect. No objections. I love it. Silence is great. So get accustomed, get familiar with the things you'll be taking. Meeker will be escorting you on his return trip back home, begrudgingly missing out on the Festival of Colors final day. And Meeker will say, absolutely begrudgingly. Damn. Uh, but yeah, uh, with that, you are free to kind of take up your time here. Some time will pass, but then eventually, Davis, you do meet up with your friends at Tabard's with a solid knock. Uh, Sej eagerly kind of goes to the door and opens it, and you see your friend inside of Tabard's. Hi, Davis.
Hey, thanks for waiting.
Uh, we would never leave you. You get to talk to who you needed to talk to.
I did. I got more than I would have bargained for, surprisingly.
Tabard kind of leans over. Is like, "You're welcome."
Oh yeah, thank you. Sorry, I didn't know you were here. Um, it is your place. I don't know why I would think you weren't here. Uh, but yeah, and then actually I'll just pull it out and be like, does this mean anything? Like, does this mean anything to you? And I'll be like, and Dregnar, I might need you to read this, or I don't know, maybe Rock, maybe you can read it too. I don't know. You seem to know all sorts of languages. And then I'll take it out, put it on one of the tables, and just say like, he says it was like directions or like instructions for how to get into the belly of the snoring mountain.
I cannot read that, but if no one else can read it, then I can read it, but I
Right.
can't. Anyone? Anyone else?
I mean, Dregnar definitely can.
Yeah, I know.
Is it in Dwarvish? Adam?
I believe it
Yeah,
is.
it's in Dwarvish, correct? Yes.
Okay, I'll look
Oh.
at it and go, and I'll read it.
Okay. So, it's a stone tablet. The etchings are filled with um, a kind of like it's metal, but depending on how the light is, it's reddish, bluish. It's kind of like a marble kind of hewing effect to it, inside of it. So it's it's actually kind of pretty. Um, it essentially says the stars will lead you to the slumbering. Oh, sorry, the stars will lead you to the roaring belly below. And it kind of has, it almost looks where it's written, and then there's like almost like a picture, and it looks almost like tunnels, and then
Okay.
leading to a chamber. They get etched, so it's
Is it multiple tunnels or just one tunnel?
give. This is very easy. Give me a quick investigation check.
19.
Nice.
There is one tunnel that the metal continues through. The other tunnels do not have the metal.
And I will point that out and say, if you look here, this one is slightly different than the rest. And I'll follow it. Does it lead to the main chamber?
Yeah, leads to
Out, and then
a,
I'm
a,
going to,
co- leads to a star essentially, like a little.
okay.
Yeah.
And if I think back to the constellation, does it seem to match the flow through the tunnel? Like turn here, turn there. That would be like where the stars are like.
You figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Constellation is the key. Yeah.
Got it. And I'll explain that to, I said, Davis, summon Hearthguard, if you would, please.
It's instantly boom.
And then I'll try to point out as quickly as I can the stars, and then I'll overlay it on the tablet. And I say, it's not a constellation, it's a map. It tells you how to get through the tunnels to get to the main chamber.
Huge sigh of relief. Oh my gosh, that's what that is. Thank you, Dregnar. How are you feeling, by the way?
It comes and it goes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Davis, you looking him over? He looks fine. He doesn't look like he was sick, or he doesn't look like he was like on near death's door, like he was 10 hours ago.
So I'll just say, so yeah, Tabard, Braylon, and I think his father Murgo, uh, were the ones that I spoke to. I hope, and frankly, I showed them the weapon. Hopefully, hopefully that's okay. But they did seem to genuinely know what you said that they might know, and I don't think that's going to cause any trouble. But they did also provide us with this, and now Dragnar's figured it out.
Well, that's. I figured that if you were going to go there, Murgo would help you.
Oh, so you do know him. Good, good, fantastic.
I know of him.
Got it.
I know. I've been to the Snoring Lodge a few times to observe the rambunctiousness that happens.
Yeah, I imagine later in the evening it gets a little bit more exciting because it was pretty boring in the morning.
Did you notice how open it was and pretty dull and quiet?
Mm-hmm.
They'd like to bare knuckle box there.
That makes sense based on what. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
You get the door.
I perk up.
Reason it's so difficult to open and close to slow down anyone that's potentially not supposed to be coming in.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Man, we definitely have to come back here.
Yeah. Murgo used to be one hell of a left jab, if I
Wow.
remember.
I could see that.
Retired now. But, yeah. So, like now that he's actually talking about Danny, like it makes complete and total sense why the layout is so just sparse and
Yeah.
dusky and yeah, and makes sense that there's buckets ready to just clean stuff.
Oh,
Just
yeah. I hadn't picked up on that, but yep.
buckets are ready. So yeah, with that, um Davis, I don't know if there's any particular item that on the list would have struck your fancy, if any.
No,
Uh
not really.
okay,
I've been looking and nothing in particular now.
yeah. Tabard will take a wooden vial rack, um, set it down. There'll be 4 vials, 2 of which are that classic cherry red, usually indicating of some sort of uh arcane alchemic fusion to create a healing potion. He'll look at you and say, on a good faith, so that we can continue our friendship and future business. 2 major healing potions. If you don't know, 64 plus 6 healing for each of them. One of these, it's a frenzy potion. Essentially, when you go to battle, you'll find yourself swinging a little bit more, or firing your arrows a little bit more. And lastly,
I had
hmm?
one of those already, right? I think I used one.
No, you had a crazy version of that.
Oh,
You had a
okay.
witch's version.
Oh, that's right. It was Witch's Brew. That's right.
Yeah. This is essentially so two 64 plus 6 healing potions. One that if you take the attack action, you get 1 more attack for the duration. So if you get 2, you attack 3 times. If you were a fighter with 4 attacks, you get 5 attacks. Stuff like that. And then the last one is that I heard them say hellhounds. There's this like cinnabar red like color vial, and it is very thin and narrow, and when you touch it, it's warm. It says resistance to fire. This should protect you from the scalding heat of at least some of the hellhounds, or at least one of you. I hope that some of you are able to ward off against extreme heats, because I I know that their teeth are hotter than fire pokers.
Bad builds character.
That and terrible wounds. So essentially, so whoever wants to take note of the pots, you have 2 major healing potions. I did not make these potions, so maybe I made the superior or the major healing potions at some point.
Yeah, I have one in my
The
inventory right now, so I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure we have them somewhere.
yeah. So I should probably be able to search them and find them. Then there's a potion that gives you 1 extra attack when you take the attack action, and then there's the potion of fire resistance. And then Tabard would say, unfortunately, we didn't have anything to protect you against petrification, as it were, as I know that they're likely to go head to head with some basilisks. So my apologies on that. So
You just don't look them in the eye, right?
you don't look them in the eye, but when you don't look them at the eye, they just bite you all the more.
Actually, I'll pull out the visor and be like, I think this can help with that. Does this help against that sort of thing, where you can avert your eyes?
You know it does.
Okay.
You know it does. Um,
I was gonna get up real close and try to look through the visor hole, and I can't see anything. He's like, nah, I don't know. Right? Yeah.
yeah.
Knock on the
Uh,
helmet.
it's like Tabard's like, don't know. The markings on that are interesting.
Oh
Next,
yeah, this came from a necromancer's tower. Yep, yep, in the deep root marsh.
that is a collection of things you have, Davis. Very interesting.
Yeah, watch this, and then I'll put it on and make the eyes go like bright red.
It's like you would
Blah.
like you would likely scare the piss out of some peasants with that.
Not you though, huh?
Uh, and he kind of points to one. It's like similar effect.
Ah.
And he's actually it's like one of those Full Metal helmets. Got like some obnoxious horns on it. He's like literally used solely to change eye color.
Ah, okay, so this one's a little cooler. Nice.
I take your word on it.
I think we have something that might scare you. It scared me. I'm not allowed to touch it.
Wait a minute, is this you talking about the
He
bag?
he
No, 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 no.
Oh.
He hasn't seen the scroll yet, right?
Oh no. Yeah, he hasn't. Definitely bring it up.
But hey, Dregnar, do you still have it? The scary scroll, the one that we don't know what it is. It's pure evil. Feels like it's evil.
I might.
You should show him. Maybe he can tell us what it is. And I like stepped a little back from Dregnar.
Tabard is very intrigued. He's like, I really want y'all to get going, but I am a scary scroll. Very interested. He's even like
Okay.
cutting himself off mid sentence to like.
I will reach in my bag. I'm not looking at the fucking scroll.
Okay.
I reach in and fumble around and I find it and I hand it to him while I look away from it, averting my eyes because I'm not looking at it.
He kind of follows your suit, and he's like, but all of you that are watching, he's very curious. He's got like one eye looking, and he takes it. And something that was lost in now, and he in appreciating the scroll, is that it is beautiful. It is platinum gold filigree. It is the finest like vellums and papers. The sealing and the like the way that it's tied and kept closed, all of it is just top notch. He looks at it, he's like, it, it, it's sealed. May I, should I open this when you are not here? Is this what I'm getting at? Or
Was it always? How did we know it was scary? I don't remember. Was it always sealed?
someone identified it, and it was as of a spell level that you couldn't understand. Like you opened it, and there were so many
Yeah.
mathematical symbology and all the like the concentric circles. It just blew your mind. You're like, it gave you a headache just looking at it.
You could look at it if you want at your own risk. And I step even further. In fact, I like walk across to some further distant store and pretend to be interested in planters.
Before he opens it, is Tam Tam here?
No, she's not right
Okay, cool. Because I don't want those little fucking evil bears coming alive again.
now. Tabard will go to that table that he's got up on this area, where y'all gathered, and he's showed y'all some stories, and y'all discussed the Mad Titan and everything. And he'll say, very well, and he'll unwrap the scroll and say, this is beautiful. I don't know. He'll just start rolling it out, and you'll just see him look over it. I have no idea what this is. That is complicated. Where did you make? And he looks at Ron. Did you make this?
I'm yelling from across. We didn't make it. We got it from some hags. We killed them, by the way. But
Thank you for killing them. This will take time for me to. Do you mind if I?
As far as I care, you can add it to the pile of stuff right over there and see if you can get rid of it, or add it to the personal collection.
I
no, heck
need.
no. You're not selling that. Like, what if it?
I
Why?
What if it?
You
What
ain't
if it?
gonna read it.
Well, we can't read it. But what if it like summons a portal to like death, and then some other hag
More,
comes by and is like, "Hey, my death portal. I'm going to use that and destroy the world."
more the reason that he has it instead of us.
Yeah, well, maybe you can have it, but don't like sell it and display it. Like, figure out what it is, and
I will. By all means, I will not. Yeah, as scattered as your words were, Rock. This is potentially something that could do that. This could rip. This will take time for me to understand, and I might need help. But very well, this could be something that rips holes in reality.
well, that doesn't sound good at all. Yeah, let's not do that.
No, I assure you I would not be able to activate it even if I wanted to.
So we were leaving.
Yeah.
Mika's like, we'll be leaving. You boys got everything you need. Tabard, I will be escorting them out. Until next time, my friend. And you just see Tabard just staring at the scroll. Till next time.
Don't blow your head up.
Wow. Tabard, real quick.
Don't die to your curse. And he looks at you. Yes, Al.
Uh, you've been very benevolent with us. Thank you very much. I'll stick with the crest. It's more my aesthetic. But here's the taking it back. Just know that if it's still here when we get back, I'm in the market for it. That thing is fancy.
Well, he'll grab it. He's like, for you. And I'll put it in his pocket. I'll make sure no one sees it until you get back.
Ah, good man. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm a tremendous man. I am Tabard.
Al will turn to walk out. Thank you for your help. Tremendous. Tremendous.
Say, to your inevitable triumph. And then as you guys all walk out with your new equipment and potions, Meeker will guide you to Davis to a similar direction that you walked.
Yay.
He will start guiding you to the east of town. A portion that none of you really have been except for Davis. And as mentioned, you will to him. But as you're traveling, it's still the same kind of stonework structure, but there is a more attention to detail and keeping the buildings uh, nicer and neater, and it's kind of like to use modern or like things that we can see in every day. It's like going from the streets of Paris to go to like Notre Dame. That attention to detail, all the extra little flourishes and beauty markings and all of that. Um, But as you guys are traveling, there are still the activities and the stalls and stands, the people getting ready for the festival. And there are just so many of those paper lanterns set out and getting ready. And people are trying to sell them and, you know, get rid of them for the upcoming releasing of the lanterns tonight. Uh, but you guys travel, walking together, uh, and eventually there is a few wagons, transport wagons, that are set and ready to go. Meeker uh, walks up to his some of the Verdant Cause members there. Yeah, there's another older gentleman, not in his grays, but around the same age of Meeker. They walks up, they give a formal salute, and they kind of you see them, come here, and they give each other a big hug. And he's a rather large, rounded individual, uh, seemingly human. Uh, keeps his hair short, and Meeker says, "So, are these the ones we're getting out of town then?" And it's like, "That's right, Baxter. We're getting them out. You know, we're transporting goods, taking the field trails, and cutting down through the fields, and then we're making a delivery to the checkpoint." It's like, "Yeah, I got that. You gonna be accompanying us?" "Yeah, of course." And you'll see that there's room for y'all, and there's empty boxes and uh, burlap sacks ready for y'all to jump in and hide, should you need to. Uh, Meeker will introduce y'all. This is my friend Baxter.
Yeah, we met. We've met before.
Different Baxter.
No. I mean, actually, is it?
No, it's a different Baxter.
Oh, okay. Never
This
mind.
is not Volpine Baxter. Baxter that runs.
Oh, I just figured it
one of
would.
the. No, I get
How
you.
dare you have two people with the same name in in the fantasy universe, Adam? How dare you?
I pretty sure it's impossible to go without renaming me. Okay. If you-
It's just it's so different. It's fine.
Damn.
PACK.
Sorry, but yes,
That's okay.
very good memory. Baxter down in Volpine is the owner of the general store.
Yeah, he also just happens to work with Morgan, which is why I was.
Oh,
That's
I
why
get
I
that.
was confused. I was like, wait a minute.
Good note, good point. But no, sorry. Randomly generated names. Sorry. So yeah, he'll load you up. You know, some of the formalities. It's going to be Baxter, Meeker, and two other Verdant Cause members are taking cargo down to the checkpoint, and then y'all will be going to Volpine. It will take 4 days to get there. Uh, Leaving Volpine, and at any point, if y'all have any type of roleplay or any, we want to slow down, let me know. But essentially, you guys will slip through the gates. You'll be covered as you travel east out of Whitlaw through the Kneeling District, and you enter into the fields themselves. There are miles and miles of crop fields, which as you guys get a fair enough distance, Baxter and Meeker will be, come on out. They won't. No eyes now on you. And you'll see that there's just all different types of produce and greeneries being grown throughout the fields. Eventually, you're traveling these trails, and they'll cut down, and they'll start cutting across, and you'll start, making your way down south, trying to reach the Mason Fair in some respect to get to the checkpoint, uh, where you guys met like Ludwig and his daughter and the individuals from the Dirty Pick, the Dusty Pick, and such. Uh, so 4 days of travel will be spent. CJ, if you want, you can roll 4 days worth to try to see if you hit a 10 on your
Engine.
engine. Thank you. Words.
And I believe he means rock.
Rock. So sorry.
I'm very upset right
I'm very upset at myself. I feel really bad. Like this is actually
You're actually normally
annoying.
really good. And today's been one of you're just off today for some reason.
It's normally Dregnar that calls me.
Yeah, I feel like I try really hard. I think it's I spent so much time just trying to get the items ready that my brain is fried.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, CJ. What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, 7, 5, 8.
8. Okay, so you're running with an 8 today then.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, well, that be Newport too then.
Yeah, go ahead if you want to, because it'll be
So
4 days. You guys get.
I'll just roll once for the whatever day we're.
Yeah.
So that's 3 and 6.
Okay, got it. So, traveling as a group, um, through the caravans, resting at night. You're not pushing a very hard pace. explain to you is like they're expecting y'all in 4 days. No reason to show up faster. And then as you guys get 1 day out before reaching the checkpoint, well, not even 1 day, but like you're on that day, Meeker will have y'all change into Verdant Cause attire. He'll say, listen, we gotta get y'all to Volpine. You're gonna be my escort, my crew that I'm sending back to help me run the town. Very well, very well. And I did some guesswork on some of the measurements, so I hope these fit. Mostly, they're loose pieces of armor, but it's really the tabard with the insignia and maybe the cloak and the cape to, in, to embody and represent the Verdant Cause. Putting on your disguises. Does anyone want to, I don't know, assist in trying to make them look more authentic, helping people blend in, or are you just kind of cool and hope that this is going to work? Or it's going to hope it's going to work. I dig it. Very well.
I
So,
think
huh?
at minimum, Al would probably go for disguise self instead of wearing the actual stuff.
That's easy enough for you to do, yeah.
But he'd,
Super
he'd
easy enough
redo it
to
a bunch of times, examining everybody in the outfits.
do. Gotcha. That's hilarious. That fucking. um, so with that, you're able to disguise yourselves. Meeker at the checkpoint will, Baxter will actually drop off and deliver his things. The two other members with him will stay behind unloading. Meeker will tell you guys to kind of, help unload, make it look like you're busy, and then in a few hours we'll get going. You see Meeker talk to some individuals. He comes back to y'all at some point. A couple hours later, I got passes. They understand that I'm sending some help back to Volpine to help me police the area, and then I'm going to be taking my time back home. And y'all are all supplied horses, and you guys are able to depart to Volpine, where in the course of to close out the day, y'all will eventually arrive for the first time in forever to where your adventure started in the small, sleepy town known as Volpine. And I need to unarchive the map if I can find it. Volpine. Boop. I don't even remember what all these boxes meant. Oh yeah, jeez. The old school.
When I had
There's still
41
the
HP, apparently.
the pigs, the lion. Okay, the Marb hiding in the woods as he used to do. It's like I'm in the woods. All right, let me just put all this stuff on the other GM layer.
I don't know who drew that. I can't delete it.
GM layer. I mean, I'm
There
DM, so
you
I
go.
can't.
Well, yeah, I thought it might have been
Yeah,
something I did, so I was gonna do it.
yeah. All right. So as you guys are traveling along the Mason Fair, uh, there's that familiarity for some of you where you're seeing the open fields with the large plains cows and the sleepy town with its little hill-like buildings, uh, buildings that are actually built into the little hills and are grass-covered for roofs, as well as the wooden structures. And I'm trying to see if I have any other Volpine maps. I think I do. Volpine. Let's restore this one too. That's like the fields around you. Oh, geez, we used to mark. Kind of traveling. Like this is the scenario, like the trees with the oak trees and the flowers, the tall grasses, and off to the, I guess it would be to the south of you would be the high pine forest, the foxwoods, where the oak trees make way for thick, dense pines. Hey, so arriving into Volpine quite late at night, traveling through the south portion, Meeker will say, "Ah, it's good to be home. It is so good to be home." Anyone want to do anything while you're here, or
So what time of day is it right now? Pretty late?
it's pretty late?
Like actual nighttime late or like dusk late?
Oh, it's past dusk. Traveled in past dusk. So, much, much different. Even small in comparison to Green Hill. What was it? Volpine?
I'll say,
Pro
how's that cantankerous mayor of yours doing? Would she want to see us? Would she even want to know that we're here?
Yeah, Davis, I was just thinking the same thing since we kind of snuck out of Whitlaw. And for the most part, the people of Volpine know the majority of us. Do we need to keep a low key so word doesn't get back that the Crass Menagerie is in Volpine when it's supposed to be in Whitlaw?
Listen,
You
we
were
can
re-
let no.
Oh, sorry, you were really quiet for the beginning there, but it's
Oh,
better now.
I don't know why I got quiet. Meeker will say, Dregnar's got a point. Y'all are still in Whitlaw, technically. I need to move the calendar. Um, is there anyone specifically that you need to speak to here? Because keep in mind, Meeker was not with y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just the Goliath, right?
Yeah, Morgan?
Very well.
Yeah, his was his sister that told. I can't remember very well. I was kind of in a lot of excruciating pain. It was his sister, right?
Morgan's got a sister. I
It was cousin, I
didn't know that.
think. It was a cousin.
Cousin, the doctor.
Alright. There's a lot to Morgan that I don't know, but that is awesome. That very well.
Yeah, Sternhammer's, I
I
think, is where Morgan is, right?
General. He's friends with Sternhammer. Works for Sternhammer's competition.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Do we
But
want to like camp out on the outskirts or go in under the
I could do
night?
with camping, because we may run into some of our lady friends out there.
Or, I know Rock may want to do this. We could always have Meeker go in and talk to Morgan, and we can go ahead and talk to the what were they? What do you call them, Rock? The pigmen, pig people, pig
Swine,
guys,
swine folk, my
swine
friends.
folk. Yes, yes, because they're near here, right? Within a day's travel.
nearish to here. The Meeker will say the Grissa and the Dryads have taken them deeper into the woods for their own protection.
Which
Well,
direction are they?
Deeper in the Foxwoods, so south.
so we have to
You're
go south anyway. We can just have Meeker go in and tell Morgan and him to meet us there.
I start like pacing to the south a little bit, and then like looking back, and then
I
Just
would
an idea.
I
trying to sort of like go in that direction, but then being like I can't now. But
listen. I know you're capable. I still wouldn't advise traveling the Foxwoods at night. Just
but they live there. What? Wait, are they in danger?
no, but they have the Dryads, and it's on you. You're capable. If you wish to travel, you still probably would rather rest. It will still take you about a day to get to where the swine folks are.
Well, we can at least camp out here and then possibility to head that way to Because we may be able to get some information from the Dryads about where we're going. Just my
Well.
2 cents. Or 2 coppers.
Well, then allow me to go track down Mr. Mason.
Mason?
Wrong name,
Morgan?
Mr. Morgan. It was a long day of travel.
His last name's Mason. His name's Morgan Mason.
Yeah, no, that's actually not. It's
He lives
Morgan
right
Bullhorn.
he lives right next to Peter Parker,
Yeah.
Reed Richards, all those
Oh,
guys.
Clark
yep,
Kent.
yep.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Same actor in all the movies. I'll go find him, Mr. Morgan, and let him know that it's urgent that he comes with me to meet some company.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Of course. Do make yourselves comfortable. And at this time, you'll be able to find a place on the outskirts of town. I'll also inform my the watch that if they see your fires, that you are camping per my permission out there. Not to be concerned. So, see you in a few hours if I'm lucky. So y'all are able to venture, set up camp. It is already fairly dark, so it is, not the easiest to set up camp. But you have survived. You've made it. Using what resources you have, what magics are at your disposal, are able to set up a camp on the outskirts of town to the southern portion
I would say to
near
Rock, I would say maybe
the
no
Foxwoods.
tower tonight. Want to keep it lower profile.
I was just gonna say I build a tower, but okay, no tower.
We
Ca-
can do
hey,
the dome probably because we can make that different colors and blend it in, but the tower I think is a little bit conspicuous.
Hey, Rock, can you make it go down instead of up?
No, it's a tower.
It's
I
not
like
a
the idea.
Nubiet. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's not a
Nubian,
cave.
yeah.
Have you tried before?
No.
Have you said the spell backwards?
Yes, say the spell backwards and see what happens.
That's led me to bad things in the past. I
And
would recommend that.
I take a step back and get behind Davis.
I think
You're
about it,
always behind me.
and yeah, no.
You're a
Sorry,
good meat shield.
That's pretty rich, actually.
What was that, Rock?
yeah, no. I'm not gonna try to say it backwards.
Yeah. Unfortunately, by the reading of the spell is you create a 2-story tower, not a 2-story structure.
Yeah.
So you can't finagle it. Some time passes. You guys are free to do as you wish. Cut me off at any point, but Meeker will eventually arrive back with Morgan. And
Real quick, boys. So, are we sticking with the camping stuff, or do we want a tiny hut? That's kind of on the line, right? It's
We
better
can
than
do
a
both,
tower.
right?
Hey, I like it.
But
I mean,
what's the weather like? If it's a gorgeous night, when's the last time we were able to actually just sleep underneath the stars without being attacked?
when we were about half a day's travel west of here, before we went into Whitlaw. I guess we probably camped every day on the way up to Whitlaw, so basically,
Yeah.
it's not like
Yeah.
but you were always being escorted or with some sort of well, not always, but I get what you're saying. This is the first time where it's just menagerie. I'll say that.
true.
It's up to you, Al. Just gotta make sure. Remember, you have to stay in there. Or it goes away, right?
Yeah, and you have a point. I can make it so we can see out from in, but I won't be able to feel the breeze. I think if it's been so long, I think I'm gonna sleep outside tonight. It's gonna be nice.
Respect.
Respect indeed. I think this is maybe what we used to play here. Let's see.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah. I
Roll
mean,
initiative.
My lullaby.
this is daytime though. Boo. Okay. We'll play that later. So With some time, Meeker will arrive, and accompanying him is the rather young Goliath with a very youthful expression, especially in his eyes. Uh, like he's still large for being, due to his heritage. And then you do see uh, on his arms where his hand, it's on both hands, it's like tattoo of flame and fire running all the way up to like his elbow, from his fingertips to his elbow. Dressed in simple, out of work, uh, daily clothes, whites and browns. You do see he's still a little scuffed and dirty from probably working at the Smiths during the day. And he'll say, "Well, Meeker said I was gonna recognize some folks. Shit, I recognize some of you. Don't recognize all of you, but those I
That
recognize. Good to
that's
see you.
Al's dad. That's Al's dad.
I mean,
Hello.
so
Actually, what does Al look like right now?
He's been hiding the hair for sure, but you can tell when he lays on something or has his head against something. There's a little bit of space. um, got the verdant cause clothes. Yeah, I think he's been looking
So it's
a little
you're
older.
slightly older Al.
Yeah,
because keep
yeah.
in mind,
Okay.
you have slowly started. There's been like 4 times where I've told you you've looked a little bit younger,
hmm
so still looks older. But he's like,
Dregnar's not letting it go. That's Al's
yeah.
dad.
He's like, well, nice to meet you, sir. Sure. I'm sure your traveling companions have told you about all the great things that your son has accomplished, especially for our small little sleepy town. So,
Great.
So proud of him.
I
Anyway,
mean,
Morgan, this is Sej, my Loxodon friend over here. He has joined us recently.
welcome to Volpine.
Karos, my Leonin friend over here.
Welcome to Volpine.
Yeah, I think you know the rest
Thank
of
you.
us, right? I'm Al's dad, and this is Al's dad. Al's dad? Would you like to introduce yourself? I say like weirdly addressing him as Al's dad.
Yes, yes. Pleasure to meet you. I'm gonna put my hand out. I'm Bear. You can call me Baritone. Yeah.
Baritone. Allegretto. Baritone. I get. You put your hand out. He goes to shake it. I mean, do you have the illusion on your hand as well?
Yes.
He'll.
That's my normal hand size, right?
Yeah.
It probably meshes pretty
Hmm.
well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just checking. Doesn't. It's pleasure to meet you. Like I said, your son and quite a lot of these folks helped save my home. So they've done great things.
Mm, I'm so proud of
Uh,
all of them.
Well,
oh,
Morgan, we kind of need a favor.
oh. mm, I mean, just about anything that I could do, sure.
Well, your out of game cousin, right?
Yep.
Yeah, clan member,
Joel.
cousin, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joel.
Your cousin Joel from Whitlaw sent this to you.
Wait, Joel? How is she? I haven't seen Joel since I was about, just like, puts his hand way down. He's like at his waist. It's been a while.
She did say congratulations on getting your tattoos.
I'm glad she knew. I
Well,
wish she
when
could have,
when, when we
uh,
spoke with her, we informed her.
well, I appreciate that. You know, I need to get out and see her at some point. Uh,
Well, she said that you may be able to help us with a certain task that we have to do.
um, in, okay, you need me to make you something?
No, we need you to lead us and accompany us to the south because we need to fight some basilisk, among other things.
Did I hear need to? Because most of the time it's people are stupid and they want to.
Well, the stupid part's probably fair, but we need to. It's a matter of life or death.
All right. This is where I get the feeling I don't need to ask why. Um,
Oh,
in my
if you want to know why, I can tell you why. It's because in our adventures, I became cursed by an entity, and to break the curse, I need some materials from a basilisk, among other things. If not, it's going to kill me.
and, and this is what Joel told you.
Joel, among others, yes.
Well, he said it. I mean, you,
And I'll kind of look at Meeker since he knows the mystic curse type stuff.
and Miguel was he's like,
He definitely
I'm
does.
afraid so, boy. You know Joel, like you were about. I'm sure you know that's why she's up in Whitlaw. She's teaching them about afflictions and maladies. Morgan will say, yeah, it's usually disease, ailments. I'm surprised that sometimes she talks about possession as he like scratches his bald head. Got no hair. Oh, very well. I'll need to arrange time. I need to tell the boss I'm gonna be missing, but if it's a request for you boys, and if it's shit, your curse, really? Damn. Well, I'm sure. I'll get you through the forest into the mountains. I'll get you to meet some of my kin, and I mean I'm not much of a basilisk hunter, but some of them, it's what they do. It's what we survive off of. I'm, I'm sure I can try to convince them to help. Damn, cursed. I never knew curses were real. Seriously, I just thought it was some spooky stuff that people would say to. Yeah, Dregnar, I'm sorry, man. That's
Yeah.
rough.
Just part of the job.
I mean, that shouldn't be.
Besides, if they're gonna curse someone, they gotta curse the toughest one. These other guys, they probably fall. Al's a great guy, but come on, he stumps his toe, he falls over.
He looks at Al's dad. It's like,
He was always made of glass.
oh,
But don't
oh,
worry, Mr. Dregnar, we're gonna get you fixed right up, good as new.
So
he'll just think, well, wherever your son is, I hope he's okay. But yeah, let me arrange it with my boss. Make sure Baxter knows I'm gonna be out. Oh, he's gonna talk me up a storm. All right. When do you guys need the escort? It's probably gonna take us few days to get through the woods. All
We can start tomorrow.
right. Um,
Is that enough time?
absolutely. I mean, it'd be nice to kind of head home. It's been
now you said your boss is gonna give you a hard time. Uh, we're gonna be probably gone for a couple of weeks. What do you normally bring in for him for your skills monetarily?
oh, I mean, shoot, I haven't even thought about that. Um, well, I'm the smith over at the general, so uh, I'll have to figure out. I don't know how much is reasonable? A couple gold a day?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
All
think a couple
depends on
gold
the.
a
probably
day.
no more
Yeah.
than like 2 or so.
Yeah,
Like
I think.
1 gold a day is probably reasonable too.
Yeah,
Well,
he'd say at least a gold a day. Sometimes, depending on what's going on, maybe a little bit more.
I'll look at Davis and say, "Hey, can we take that out of the newly acquired clean money to kind of
That sounds fantastic. Yeah.
What do you think? Give him 15, 20 gold, and if there's more, we'll pay more later.
So is this going to Morgan or to his boss?
Well, it's going to go to his boss, right?
Oh, it's because he's doing without his services. Oh yeah, and then
Yeah, exactly.
we'll pay Morgan. We'll pay him more than that later.
Yeah, Morgan's going to be more later. I'm just talking about so his boss doesn't
Makes sense. Makes sense.
climb all over him for this.
And actually, and Meeker came back and was like, "Hey Meeker, is there somebody you think we could get to fill in for Morgan while he's gone? Any
I'll
like
have
apprentice or something
yeah.
that might be able to?"
No, well, I'll have a few of the cosmen that work on maintaining our equipment.
Hey, how are Sam and Bentley doing?
Oh, they should be just fine. They're still here.
Yeah, just I think actually it was I think Sam was the one that almost died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or should have
Sam was
died.
the one that should have died. Yeah.
Okay,
I
just
mean,
making
they'll.
sure, cause I mean Sam had a real rough time that last like one of the when we saw him last.
Oh, certainly. But you know, they still speak highly of you. They remember. Never really forgotten. Always been when rumors of the your dealings over in Green Hill
Oh,
came
you heard?
around.
Oh wait, sorry, this is Meeker speaking. Yeah, never mind. I'm dumb.
Yeah. Oh, all of Volpine's heard. Just it's can't always make them believe everything you say though. It's the hard part.
Yeah.
Oh, outside of here, we know what you've done for us, so it's easy for us to believe what you've done for others. All right, let me find because I actually found the old images that I had. I have to like upload them here. Let's see if I can do
Man,
that.
got all that space.
Yeah, I had to delete everything because I used to not have space. Let me save
I
Morgan Roll.
never realized that the Capitol building was in the background of Volpine.
Yeah.
I was like,
Inspirational.
I was like looking at that. I
It's
was
the
like,
rotunda.
Yeah, inspirational arts. Um, yeah, okay, cool. I found Morgan's old. It's not a token because I'm not gonna tokenize it, but I have his old art. Did it download it? So, here you go. I'll go ahead and drop Morgan, and yeah, I actually really like the guy. So he'll say, he'll talk. How much gold are you handing him?
15, I think we said.
Okay. It's like, well, I'm sure this will really help convince Mr. Kulko that it's okay for me to step out, and mighty appreciate it, Mr. Meeker, if you would get some people to help cover. So there you go. There's the old art
Nice.
for
nice.
the young blacksmith. Go put him on the GM layer. Oop. Very well. Are you boys just gonna be camping out here? I'm sure the town would love to
We're
know
trying to
that you
keep
guys.
it a little bit quiet. Not a lot of people know where we're at. If you get my meaning.
Yeah, speaking of that, Morgan, you didn't see us.
Oh, something came up. I gotta go see the family back at the mountains. Got it.
Sounds great.
Very well. I tossed the little satchel coin. This should help convince the boss. And he'll say, "See you in the morning." And
See
look
you in
up
the
and
morning.
say, "A beautiful night. Makes me kind of want to come camping. Plenty of that when I get home."
Yeah, sounds like we'll
Uh,
be camping for the next couple of weeks, so or for yeah. So
Very well. So with that, um, seemingly there's a high chance that Morgan will be able to work out some sort of leave from the general store. Y'all are able to camp out at night. Sej, Karos, this is your first time here. Really?
Yep.
It's a really small, quiet. Hell yeah, Loki!
is that your
Get
dog
at it!
going nuts? I hope.
Get at it, Loki!
He got an early Christmas present because my
Nice.
girlfriend came back with a stuffed toy that some of her friends forgot and thought of me because it's a dragon.
That's awesome.
And so he saw it, went nuts. So it was like, well, we've got the one toy from his last Christmas present that he still hasn't ripped into yet. And so now he's got a very loud koala.
That's awesome.
The
So
beautiful wildlife noises after midnight.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was perfect. But yeah, sleepy, quiet cottage like farmstead of a town. Uh, you've heard the stories from your companions about the swine march and all the craziness that happened a few months ago. You would never imagine it happening here. They're on the outskirts with your backs to the heavy pine forest. Night will take you. We'll go ahead and take our first break 'cause it's 2 hours in already. And then we'll kick up with you guys heading to the Grey Crawls.